ขายทิ้งใช่ไหมดาเลงเบื่อผัว you see
What's it? Bored?
เบื่อผัว
What's that mean?
เบื่อ you เบื่อ
Bored?
ไม่เบื่อ bored you
What?
this one him say เบื่อผัว
I have no idea. Like seriously, what the?
เบื่อผัว
You go to one of these places, you're going, what the?
where you sit
Anyway, like,
who inside chair this
Yeah, up to you, darling. You can
this
choose
one,
somewhere.
this one you sit before
Yeah, we sit there before. You want to go inside? Yeah,
Yeah,
up to you. You can choose something. We're a bit early for the restaurant today. There's a couple of families over here. But yeah, like I was watching Tim Newton today. If you don't know his channel, it's up there in the corner. And he was talking about all the weird stuff that goes on in Thailand. Yes, darling.
where you want to sit อ๋อตรงนี้เขา
You can choose somewhere. It's okay. Yeah, and so he's talking about all this weird stuff that goes on in Thailand, and as you know me, I'm just a small channel on YouTube dealing with our life, but I'm constantly sort of encouraged to do more documentary sort of stuff, like officialdom of trying to work out what goes on in Thailand. Yes, I said you can choose. I'm making a video, okay? Yeah, so they're doing their thing, I'm doing my thing. But yeah, so what was he talking about today? Like, the visa changes, the cannabis laws, what else is there? There's just the weird stuff that goes on. And we keep on sort of saying, if you're going to want to really know Thailand, right, you have to watch the YouTube stuff for the people who are living here, who can actually give you a bit of an inside story about how they're experiencing it. The difference is we're not documentary channels, we're not official, we're not anything. We're just, we got our little soapbox and we're on the top of it, talking about life in general and everything else that goes on living in Thailand. And we've got music here, darling, I cannot talk with the music like this, okay? Really. So, yeah, they let them sort that out. Too loud a music, it really gets quite troublesome. Yes, darling, these places need to learn when we're doing YouTube. Right, we don't want music in the background because they get paid for the video and not me. the poor waiter there, he's got his head scratching away in what's going on. But this is Thailand and YouTube have a lot of rules that don't make it. Oh, bow! Ooh, ouch! Really? Anyway, we've got a seat. We've got some sort of light. What's the better light? That way or that way? Anyway, we'll have a look at our lunch order and we'll get back to you. While they're choosing the food, let's get on with the story. Right, okay, so yeah, well, there's lots of stuff goes on here, and it's one of those sort of things. The news stories that you're going to see in the tabloids and all the websites, they have one function. They have got to draw eyeballs to their website to pay for the advertising. So the more sensational the story is, well, the more clicks they're going to get. And again, same thing works for YouTube. Like I said, I've splashed the YouTube thumbnail with Lotta, hopefully to get a few more people saying, well, what's he going to talk about this time? It's a catch, like it's a little clickbaity, if you might sort of say, or we call it interest bait, where we're trying to gauge an interest with you guys to sort of, make that little bit of an extra effort to, click across to see what we're talking about. But really what we're talking about is just our soapbox. What can I do to change the world, right? All I can do is affect my direct circle of influence. And in a foreign country, that direct circle of influence is directly influenced by your ability to integrate with society here and conduct yourself in a sort of an ethical and orderly manner and do all the right things. Language is also quite important on that one, but again, it's one of the biggest and hardest challenges you're going to have to overcome here, is to really, involve yourself with the language side of Thailand. Although Thailand does speak, a pretty good modicum of English. You'll notice a lot of English words in their captured words in their Thai vernacular. But ultimately, Thailand is a very changeable society, right? Everything goes through a process. And the biggest hurdle we have here is simply the fact that the ethics of the Thai society, we don't want to put anybody out, if you know what I mean. We don't want to give people a hard time. Everybody is challenged in this day and age with one thing or another. They usually defer those challenges onto things that they think they can change, or they defer those challenges on things that they hope some external spiritual entity will change. They never actually focus on the problem themselves. How do I have to change to make things happen and be better for me? Right? It's always somebody else's problem. And I think this is the problem we face here in Thailand, is we come from different cultures to start with. Right? Their way is to, grin and bear it, bury the inconveniences and get on and try to be happy. Whereas in Western society we find ourselves exposing the inconveniences, trying to get people on our side or our plight to deal with those inconveniences and hopefully get the numbers behind to broaden our circle of influence and hopefully fall on somebody's ears that can actually make a change. Doesn't work like that here in Thailand. The upper echelon is fairly well segregated from the rest of Thai society, and they're the ones that make the final decisions. Unless, of course, you can get in bed with the high-so, 1%ers up here in Thailand, which are basically business, governmental and bureaucratic establishments. You're really not going to affect any change, and of course, being a foreigner here in Thailand, you are simply not going to get those positions because they're not available for Thailand, for foreigners here. So what do you have to do? How do you deal with it? Just sit back and relax, man. That's all you got to do. Just relax. They will work out the best solution for the majority of Thailand. And that does influence a lot by foreigners as well, because we as foreigners, I'm not talking just the Caucasian expats and the Westerners, I'm talking about the foreigners that come here, which is, 70% of those foreigners are Asian-based foreigners, right? And we always looking at the problem from our Western-centric eyes and never really sort of fall into the what ifs, if I was in that person's shoes, how does it directly affect me? This is one of the skill sets I've had to learn over the years doing my spiritual training and things like that. Although I don't do any work in that field anymore, I'm still here to give my 2 cents worth in some sort of logical fashion that you might understand. And I don't really want to make this a sort of like a wake up and smell the roses sort of video, but really, I keep on saying it, we do have our Patreon and membership, for our very good followers. I don't offer much there. Okay, exclusive content is available for you if you want to talk about it, but I do have a caveat, right? I live in a social environment which is pretty much precludes the main social streams like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and things. Although I'm on those platforms, they're not my communication platform. The way to communicate with me is through my Discord platform, and I keep on saying this time and time again because it's private. I don't want what you're talking about throwing up advertising relative to the things. You just choose for me, darling. Okay. They're still choosing the food.
You have special something for you choose one.
I don't.
I order
Spring roll.
Oh, spring roll.
I say scissors and spring rolls there. I wouldn't mind some spring rolls with dipping sauce. Yeah. And again, it's all about fitting in. The world is not going to change for you, right? If you want to know how to get over these what the moments, which we face all the time, which is the decisions made by, I think the most recent one we're talking about here is the new 60-day visa on entry or visa exemption on entry, where we find that some of the establishments, some of the immigration officers are issuing those visas when I'm talking about the border entries, and others aren't. Different airports have different rules. This is what you have to get used to here, and there's no way to really jump the gun on that. It has to go through a process here in Thailand, which finally does get signed off. For any changes in law, has to be signed off on what we call this thing called the Gazette. That Gazette process usually takes 60 days, typically 90 days. But unless, of course, it's signed off at the very highest level, which is the King of Thailand, it doesn't become law. they try to fit these things in here to try to gain public awareness of something that's going on, but always take these things with a grain of salt. Something is happening. Yeah, I like the idea, the fact that they're going to reduce the, like the long-term OA visa health requirements, bring that back into line, because as we know, the whole COVID shit, it was a load of bullshit anyway. Some people did die, and my heart goes out to those people who have to grieve for those problems, right? Generally it's health related. If you continue to shove pharmaceutical products down your throat, right, to combat the minus of ailments, your internal immune system is just not going to cope with anything foreign that doesn't have a magic pill or a proton pill they always refer to. Roger Ramjet and his proton pills. The Americans have been indoctrinated that thing since the early 60s. If nothing's going right, just drop a pill, make it right. Oh my God, seriously. But anyway, I'm not dissing the Americans, the Australians do it just as badly. But yeah, the whole idea of these what the hell moments that we deal with here in Thailand is just sit back, make note of it, see where it goes. Don't let it worry you. Smile, eh? Smile.
Don't serious.
Don't serious. Don't serious
when
anything.
you talking something about Thailand, you look serious when you talk. And when I told
Well,
you,
this is an information
you
video.
say me, no, not serious, just style. But I think you look serious. We need to when people to looking you, oh, serious.
But I'm old. I'm old.
No.
I'm old person. I'm supposed to be the
When
mentor.
you talk and you have to say everything, you smile like this. Okay.
I smile enough, don't I smile enough, really? But anyway, we have ordered, we got some food coming. This little place here, we've been out here before, we showed you this place before. The last time we're out here, the video link's up there in the corner as well, you can check that one out. Yeah, seriously, getting back to the whole thing, Thailand is going to be full of what the hell moments, or as I say, what the frack moments in Battlestar Galactica speak, right? And you just sit back and just don't let them worry you. Tax rules, right? When I get a letter or an indication from an authority that I need to register for the new tax rules, right, then I will go and jump those hurdles. When I want a better health insurance price, right, I will wait until the thing is finally approved. I may not get it in September on my renewal, right, but it'll happen eventually if they all agree that it's a good thing. Right? I can't agree on it. It doesn't make, just because I think it's a good idea, it doesn't mean that it's something I can have. We definitely would like it. You know what I mean. We live in this world of wants all the time, whereas we never live in a world of how do I change, how do I be a better person in this grand scheme of things, right, and be a citizen that can contribute and be a functional part of a group society, right, where we all win. I don't know, these are questions that go through my mind. This is probably why I don't fit into YouTube so well, because I don't think like everybody else. I'm very much an altruist. I think the human race does deserve to live on indefinitely in a multi-planetary, multi-solar system environment. It's not going to happen in my lifetime, but think about it, The better we are as a human species, the better we are at coping with long distance migration. I'm talking generational ships going to solar systems, right, where you start out with 200 or 300 people on a ship and they will build families over 5 generations to get to Alpha Centauri, right, and things like that. Look, I'm not going to go into the science behind all this because, again, I was a scientist, but I don't practice anymore, right? These are sort of things. I'm retired, enjoying the last 20 to 30 years of my life in a place that has a perfect climate, in my opinion, has smiley people, has fun things to do, has great food. You get the whole idea? They'll make changes to rules, but ultimately the positives in this planet, positives in this location in Thailand, severely outweigh the negatives of me living in Australia. right? And I'm pretty sure that everybody here living in Thailand can pretty much attest to those the same situations from their home country. And I think it comes down to the Thai smile, just the way Thais are, and they're so inviting and so happy to help you. If you haven't experienced that here in Thailand in your trips or in your long-term stays, then it might be something you're doing wrong. And I'm going to leave it at that because I think I've spoken for enough. We'll probably get another video later on. We've got so many things to do today. Mum's, she wants to go to temple again because she wants to win the lottery again, and other things like that. And so this is more of a serious video for the week. The next one a little bit more of a fun video, okay? I promise you. And they're still taking photos and our food's not here yet. Anyway guys, peace out. Darling, I finished that video. Okay, you can now say bye-bye everybody.
No way, not finished. Not finished.
We make new video. Make video next one. Okay, this one's long enough.
Okay.
What have we got there? Well, we got 10 and 50. Yeah, like it is long enough. Peace out, guys. We're out of here.